Okay, this is Mr. Ellis, and we're going to talk about diseases. That's what we're going to start after Christmas break. Okay, let me see if I can get this slideshow started. A microbe. A microbe is any microscopic organism that exists as single cells, or it could be a cell cluster like a colony. Bacteria, viruses, those are microscopic organisms. You might have heard of the subject microbiology, and that's the study of microbes. That's a class you can take probably when you get into college. They'll tell you about how dangerous everything is. Don't touch doorknobs and sit behind people and touch people and that kind of stuff. Okay, diseases. Disease is any kind of disorder of a structure or function in human. Four main types of diseases. The first one that we're going to talk about the most is called infectious diseases. These are the diseases that spread from person to person. The cold, the flu, strep throat, STDs. Okay. The second type of disease is a deficiency disease, kind of a lack of something. Okay. That would be like sickle cell anemia, lack or low blood iron in your blood. Three, a genetic would be kind of like cancer. That's a genetic disease because it's a mutation. And physiological, where body parts malfunction. That could be cirrhosis of the liver if you drink too much alcohol. It could be your pancreas not working because you're diabetic. It doesn't produce insulin. That would be a physiological disease. But like I said, we're mainly going to be talking about infectious ones. Okay, two things cause diseases. Well, there's four, but we're going to go mainly two. Virus. A virus, and here's the thing, it's a non-living. It's not alive. Infectious agent that affects cells of almost all types of organisms. They do not reproduce by themselves. They have to actually go inside of a host cell of the organism and replicate. It's kind of like the body snatchers. It's viruses. It reminds me of the old Alien movies from the 80s. I guess somewhere in the 90s, and there's been some remakes. But where the little alien spore gets inside of the body and it causes to reproduce and causes the aliens to come out. Well, that's kind of what viruses are. An antibiotic. That's a medicine. It never destroys a virus. The best way to get rid of a virus is to prevent it by getting vaccinations. I know a lot of people are crazy about vaccinations, thinking they cause other disorders and that kind of stuff, but that is not true. That's totally fiction. The viral diseases are chickenpox, which most of y'all already have a shot for. I got that when I was in middle school. The flu, HIV/AIDS, that's a virus. Shingles, the cold, which there is no cure for. Mononucleosis, that's that kissing disease. Herpes, y'all know what herpes is, right? HPV and the mumps. And there's more and more too that we'll talk about later on. Okay, a host cell. That's a cell that's been attacked by a virus. We're going to watch some video clips where it shows like the little virus going into the cell. It brainwashes the cell into making little baby viruses. Now, the other type of disease-causing agent is a bacteria. Bacteria are living things. They're single-celled. They reproduce very fast, exponentially. Like you could have one, and it would double and double and double and double within hours. Okay. Some of our bacteria-causing diseases will be, of course, salmonella when you're touching raw chicken or turtle. Typhoid, cholera. When we talk about cholera in water, bacteria can get in the water because it get dirty, especially from poop and feces, and you can get diarrhea. The plague. You remember the Black Plague? We'll talk about that later when we do epidemics and pandemics. You probably remember that in social studies class. Syphilis, gonorrhea, those other STDs, tuberculosis, disease of the bacteria in the lungs, and of course pneumonia. Now, pneumonia can be viral or bacterial, but most of the time it's bacterial. But the big difference is bacteria are bigger than viruses, and they are alive, and viruses are not. Bacteria can live on a counter surface, whereas viruses cannot. Another type of disease-causing agent is a fungus. We've talked about funguses, about them being decomposed and that kind of stuff, mushrooms, mold, yeast. They can be unicellular or multicellular. Some examples are yeast infections, and again, men and women can get these. Ringworms, and some of y'all might got a little ringworm playing in the mud. Some kind of fungus in the mud got in there and made like a little worm. It's not an actual worm, it's a fungus. And of course, athlete's foot. That's why you don't walk around barefoot in a public shower, because you can get athlete's foot. You don't want your foot to rot off. Nah, athlete's foot won't do that. Just kidding. Okay, these things we talked about were pathogens. They're organisms or substances capable of causing disease. Viruses, bacteria, fungus. We kind of also talked about parasites. They can cause diseases, like your West Nile virus. A parasite can cause you to get, I know ticks can cause you to get Lyme disease. Oop, dropped something, fell. Maybe they won't charge me. Okay, an antibiotic. Y'all probably heard of this medicine before. It's a substance that is used to prevent microorganisms from causing disease. Antibiotic resistance, however, is when a bacteria is no longer effective. Now, this is a real big problem. That's why when the doctor gives you an antibiotic, that you need to take every pill of it. Don't take half of it. Take all of it. Because what happens is you won't fully kill the bacteria that's in your body, and then they will adapt to it. And they'll be able to, next time you use it, it won't work. Okay? And here's the thing. Antibiotics are only for bacteria. Remember, antibiotic has a B in the middle of it. That stands for bacteria. Remember that. Not viruses. Viruses are not killed by antibiotics. Okay? Viruses go with vaccines because they both begin with a V. That's the easy way to remember it. Vaccines are these little shots that you get that boost your immune system. Now, what they do when you get a flu shot, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't get flu shots. You're crazy if you don't. Flu shots, what they do is they give you a dead form of the flu so that your body can learn how to counteract that. That's every time you get a shot. Y'all got shots in 7th grade. You got shots when you're little babies. They give you a dead form of the disease that's not that strong, and it causes your body to be able to build an immunity up to it so that when you're around it, you will not catch it and get sick. The best way to not get a virus is to prevent it. Now, of course, there's no cold virus, cold vaccine, because we never got that one because there's so many different strains of it. Contagion. Y'all remember that movie we watched about the diseases going everywhere? Well, a contagion is a disease-causing agent or something that causes the disease to spread. A vector is using an organism, usually an insect, a tick. It transmits a disease from one animal to another, but it doesn't have the disease. For instance, a tick carries the vector for Lyme disease. It gets on deers, and then the deer ticks get on us. They give us Lyme disease. Now we get the disease. The ticks don't have it. Malaria. Mosquitoes. We talk about mosquitoes are parasites. Mosquitoes, they don't actually have malaria. They carry it and then give it to us when they bite us. That's why they're called vectors. And that sounds like that's pretty much it. Next thing we'll talk about later will be them good old epidemics and pandemics where they spread all them zombie movies that you probably watched when you weren't supposed to. Well, we'll see y'all later.